Hi, welcome. Looks as though you found yourself at the Kodeine University.blogspot.com's YouTube channel. Well, this is our first show, our first broadcast, so let me be the first and, well, at this point only one to say welcome. I'm glad that you're here. It's been a long time coming. We've been up for, half a year now, and haven't bothered to get off our lazy duffs and produce a show. Now, part of the problem is obviously time. Time is a tough thing to come by, and also equipment. As you can see, I'm sporting the little dig here that you heard me touch just now, and, well, this is not exactly the most high-quality camera, but what you gonna do? I guess other than welcoming you, the really important thing to do is to just get down to business and kind of lay on the line what we're going to be doing here. Kind of give you the rundown. Well, where to start? I guess with myself. I'm Kodeine, kind of the co-founder of the university here. Abraca Go Fuck Yourself is a contributor of ours that is integral in the beginnings of this. Excuse me, drink some water here. As far as myself, I generally tend to stick to current events and the New World Order takeover and how it applies to, well, life in general, I guess. I also am going to be at the heart of the New Revolution and the New Century Dadaist movement, which I'm building myself. And I'm going to talk a lot about Terrence McKenna and his ideas and the archaic revival and culture as an operating system. If you're familiar, if you're a student of McKenna's, then you know what I'm talking about. If not, I suggest just do a Wikipedia or Google search on the archaic revival. Give you a pretty quick rundown of his ideas. Also look into shamanism, psychedelic shamanism, ethnobotany, lots of different ideas there. But we're going to look at McKenna and his ideas and how they can be applied to rebuilding human society after the inevitable upcoming crash. As the New World Order builds its ivory towers higher and higher, they're going to realize they don't have any foundation to stand on, and that shit's going to come crashing down. Let's be honest. It's going to fall. Right? So, what's going to grow in its place? You're going to hear me talk a lot about Alex Jones. I'm a long-time listener, supporter of Jones. Him and I are pretty much right on the same page. The difference is, of course, that I believe that psychedelic shamanic movement is going to be an integral part in breeding the kingdom of heaven, and he somehow thinks that democracy and voting is going to do it, I guess. Legislation, I don't know. Just the restoration of the republic is his basic concept, I guess. And I'm like, the republic's what's got us here, man. So, we differ. But as far as the current events and what's happening and his analysis with that, motherfucker is spot on almost every single time. Also, I don't know, I think human beings and the excess of carbon that we've been pushing out into the atmosphere after cutting down 50% of the old growth forests that used to clean that air is probably causing some trouble. That and I run out of breath just walking down a mainly traveled road in any town in America. But nonetheless, Alex Jones, smart guy, Infowars.com. Keep thinking about the new radio show they're going to do. But enough about me. Let's talk about some of the other contributors. We've got, like I said, Abraca Go Fuck Yourself, really smart guy. Wonderful use of words, just really good stuff, always insightful, sometimes depressing, but so is life. So I suggest check him out. A lot of life experience in that little noggin. And he's just laying it out. Truth is his key, just like everybody else is here. Reprying Graffiti magazine. These are some really smart guys out of the UK that are documenting graffiti in the area and all across the world. Really, they got interviews with some really good, smart graffiti artists. They remind me a lot of Banksy. If you haven't checked out Banksy, that's K-A-S-Y, Banksy. Real smart cat. You'll like him if you check him out, if you're here. Then there's also B-Dubs, who was a friend of mine from back in the day. I've known him for a long time. He's a really smart kid, got a lot of insight, and also knows what's happening in the world, and he sees the new revolution just like all of us do. So, yeah, B-Dubs, really cool guy. ArtistsILove.com. Now this is a website that I found on a link referral network, and just totally kick-ass. That's the best way to put it. Some great musicians, good graphic artists, poets, writers. I can't get enough of it. ArtistsILove.com. Check it out. It's great stuff. I guess. Well, then there's the Drunk Bicyclist, who is really, really funny. Reminding me of Tucker Max and Maddox and those guys. So you'll definitely want to check him out. He's a really funny cat. But the idea is that these inspire people, and I know you're all wondering, what's the point? Like, why do all this shit? Why take the time? Why take the 380 some odd megabytes that I've used so far off my hard drive? Why bother? And that is inspiration, is why we bother. It's inspiring people to love and to live, to revolt and to rebuild, to think towards the future, towards something better, to inspire that. Throughout all of time, artists have been the ones writing the truth on the caves, on the walls of caves and mines, and that's going to be our responsibility again. So it's time to buck up, to man up, and to move forward. Let's do it, so to speak. And that's the point, we're trying to inspire independent artists who see the world for what it is and want to get that message out and spread and tell. Sorry, I'm waiting on this software. We'll tell the world and just spread their message, get it out there. So that's the point. We're gonna do possibly daily, maybe every other day, at least once a week. We're gonna do a broadcast in which we basically cover just what's going on in the network. I'm going to go over the university news, which will be artists I loved updates, different musicians, writers, graphic artists, etc. If there's any updates for, Reprine for the graffiti magazine, we're gonna talk about that. I'll read, kind of go over some of the interviews that they do and interesting stuff, points that make me think. Maybe they'll make you think. I'm going to take a look at what Go Fuck Yourself has done for the time, and his thoughts on life and how they've inspired me to think in different ways and how they might make you think in different ways. And the same thing with B-Dubs and the Drunk Cyclist. We're just gonna run through them all and kind of give you an update on what they've been doing. And then we're going to get in more of my personal heart and soul of the show, which is going to be